Yeah, Isaiah 49.
Or so the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood.
Yeah, because keep going, brother. So
and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians.
Right. And now this is metaphorical. I mean, you could say, well, the Assyrian Empire was taken down by the Persian Medes, which is the Babylonian Empire, which were another group of Assyrians that declared themselves as the Babylonians. But as we like to say, or as the saying goes, history has a way of repeating itself, or it has a way of rhyming. Because ancient Babylon was taken down by the Persian Medes. And it's going to happen again in like manner, because guess what? We all know who the Persians are. The Persians are the Iranians and the people of Pakistan and India. Okay? But we have to wait and see where India stands though. Okay? But the point of the matter, what I was saying is the Persians and the Medes are going to get together and destroy all daughter of Babylon. It's just that those people, those actual original people, are not in that land. Okay, the modern day Medes are them Russians. Okay? Keep going, brother. And they're gonna get together with the Iranians and they're gonna go for that war. Go on, brother.
I think I see as well, Salaki, I think I see today as well that something on the RT News, they said that Pakistan has threatened India with a missile. This is
right.
New.
Right. I think what you was reading, because I was reading, I was reading the same article. What you was reading was, I think what you was reading was the article that says that Pakistan was threatened by the Iranian, something like that. You was probably reading. But it's a recent article, isn't it?
Yeah, recent.
Yeah, because they were saying that Pakistan was threatened by Iran, something like that, something to that effect. One of their military or their men did something in Pakistan. But what it is, it was an inside, it was a psyop. And what happened is, I think one of the Western intelligence agencies has something to do with that. Because what they'll do is they'll set up proxy, like for example, you have a thing called proxy wars, where they'll set up these men, these so-called terrorist men, to do something to either destroy the association between these two countries. All right, and this is why that's why Pakistan and Iran, they're coming closer together, because they realize that maybe America set up these so-called men, and they said, look, Iran, one of the Iranian men, proxy men or something like that, did something to them. So so that's what it is. But regardless of what, if the scripture says that they're going to come together, they're going to come together, regardless of what proxy men they set up. Keep going, bro.
Say, and then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature.
Right.
And if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power.
They're going to conspire together, which means to read with. The word come means with, and the word spy means to read. Or spirit, go on.
There's still not.
Conspiring together in great power to persecute them, then these shall be troubled and keep silence through their power and shall flee.
And shall flee, exactly. So that's where America's going to be taken out. It's by the amalgamation of these Arabic, these Muslim countries that get together. Okay? Because once America sees the spoil, then they're going to spoil the nations. They're going to spoil the nations of America, let me put it that way, the military powers that way. Okay, so like I was saying to you before, brother, about the article you was reading on how Pakistan was afflicted by the Iranian proxy men. Those men were probably set up by the West. America or England set up those men. That's why you have this the MI5 and the CIA. They create these men to create some sort of chaos, so that this country can blame this country and say, look, that's what they did. But it's really, in fact, it was a setup. You keep on, read what you got, brother. You got a precept?
No. I was looking what you said, the drinks in the cup. the dregs and the cup.
Yeah. Give me that. Come. It's a lot good, brother. Forgot about that. You know, so yeah, Esau, because you read Lamentations 4. I'll take read Lamentations 4 again, and then get me that. You know, and that's what we're supposed to be looking towards, man. All of this other shit don't matter, man, out here. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, brothers, fall short because we're in the flesh, we go off. But guess what, man? We gotta strengthen ourselves in these last days. And strengthen the brotherhood. If the brother's down, we pray for the brother. And you know, we move on strong, man. That's what we do. Go on, bro.
This is Lamentation 4 and 21, and it says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through thee, shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and thou shalt make thyself naked.
Right. So in other words, the curses are going to come upon them now because of what they did. That's why the Lord said in Lamentations, the 4th chapter, the Lord is going to be done away with the controversy of Zion. I mean, the cursing of Zion, and He's going to put them curses on Esau for what they did. And that's a beautiful thing right there. Keep going, brother.
And it says, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity.
So this is our last captivity. So once Esau gets destroyed, this is the last hurrah of Esau right here. We're at the last leg of the Roman Empire. So being at we're at the last leg of the Roman Empire, what do you think Esau is going to do? He's going to fight tooth and friggin' nail to keep this lousy, raggedy, dilapidated kingdom. Okay? Because these devils, they know that at the end. This is why you know, Pastor Ha, he did a sit down. I think it was on CNBC, and they was talking about how it might have been Fox News or one of those different news outlets out there. Right, and they said they saw something in the sky and all of that stuff, and they were either thinking that it was probably something a part of the Russian, the Russian technology, or it could have been the Chinese technology, or it could be a straight up so-called UFO. He was gonna say something in it.
No. Yeah, look, a lot of these news stations are talking about they're finding ways to, because the pilots are complaining that they're seeing these UFOs. And anytime they want to talk about it, they were worried to talk about it because they're going to lose their job or they black mark them, say that they've got mental problems and they shouldn't be doing this job. And they wouldn't come forward, but they're saying now it's too much of them happening now. And now, so they have to find a way for them to be able to say what they see that they see, make it legal, or not try and demonize them after speaking out. So there's a lot of these news stations. Tucker Carlson as well. That, you know, Tucker Carlson, who's well known for being a white supremacist. A lot of them have to be able to speak out. And now it's becoming mainstream news now. And they can't stop it from becoming mainstream news.
It's getting too obvious now what's going on in the heavens. So they're going to have to talk about it.
They're saying basically the number keeps increasing day by day. The amount of them that they keep seeing over the sea, they keep increasing every single day. Today you might see 2, next day you're seeing 4. You know, so it's becoming more and more undeniable. But they're trying to find out to see if they can find another explanation other than them being so-called UFOs from outer space. That's what they say. Could it be the Russians with their new technology? You know, but those things are flying at 15,000 miles per hour estimated.
That's a chariot, man. That's a chariot of the Most High. No man technology can do that. No freaking way.
I was looking at fighter jets to see how fast the Concorde could only do about 2.7 something miles per 2.7 thousand miles per hour. The fastest fighter jet on record, holding the world record, could do about 7,000 something miles per hour. That's the one that's got the record on. So those things are going like twice that speed, and that's just playing with their eyes, man. Going that speed, they could go even faster than that, to the point where they cannot even be seen. And then the dynamics in which they change direction, you'll be here, it can up and down. You know, it's impossible for a pilot to be in that plane because his neck will snap.
Yeah.
Because of the G-forces.
Yeah.
The G-force, yeah. But you know when you're in a car, right, and you and you hit the bump to a certain speed, the body jerks. That's the G-force.
Yeah.
So if you're going that kind of speed, that
You'll
can
be dead, man.
Yeah, you'll be dead.
Your neck will
You can't even see where he's going.
Yeah. You'll be dizzy.
Yeah. You couldn't even, because you know when you're on the plane, you got to press buttons and
Right.
do the
time
hands.
as well.
You can't. If you're going that speed, you can't do that at the same time. You be like,
Yeah, the human body. You turn to jelly because of the bone structure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Race cars drivers have to do trainings all the time in order for them to be in that car, man. Their neck training, body training. Because every time the speed that they hit on those corners, you can get whiplash and your neck will snap. So you can just imagine being in that type of vehicle that's maneuvering in that, in the way the chariots do.
Yeah.
The fighter jets, that's hard enough already. So later on in the manner that the chariots, impossible directions,
you're going to need to have a whole different type of driver's license, man. Those type of directions. You know what I'm saying? Because when they train you on what direction. Like within a car, they train you how to do a U-turn or to reverse. Them type of movements there, that's not in the manual.
Yeah.
So that's no human in that vehicle.
Yeah.
Because them things, they can appear on radar.
Yeah.
But then when you look in the cloud, you don't see them.
Yeah.
They said it's on the radar.
Yeah.
But then you don't. It's there, playing right there. But
Yeah.
it's on the radar.
Yeah.
That's why the pirates are complaining, because they're in the air. They can see the bloody thing right there.
Yeah.
But when they're reporting it, like we're seeing it.
Yeah.
With our own eyes.
There's no proof on the It's not in the. It's natural.
Yeah.
So they're trying their best to sort of, because they want that thing covered up so much so. But there are so many sightings that it's almost impossible to keep it covered up.
Yeah. And when they make a complaint, it doesn't go nowhere.
It doesn't go anywhere.
So it's like it's very demoralizing for them, and they're supposed to be very competent in society, competent people.
The elder Ramai did a video saying basically what they're saying is don't call them UFOs. They want to find any other explanation other than them being UFOs.
Yeah, man. So I mean, if you got jet fighter planes that can fly damn near 7,000 miles an hour, then how much more the Lord, man? The Most High got chariots that can pass by the speed of light or faster than the speed of light.
Yeah. Off the chart.
Off the chart.
Yeah.
So I mean, we see the Lord is going to put the spirit on them to fight. That's why it says they don't want to fight, as we just read, brother.
You know what? There's no God.
Because you're
the devil, man.
Let him go.
Psalms 14. Psalms 14.
That's what it is, 'cause you're the devil, man. That's why you say what you're saying.
Read Psalms 14.
Who said because you're Edomite? Who said that?
Devil.
Who said that?
He's a down fool, man. That ain't nothing but a down
Oh,
fool. Matter of fact, you read Psalms 14, by the way. That ain't nothing but a down fool, man. That's what that is right there. Oh, there's no God. Well, you know why he's saying that? Because he sees what's happening. A lot of these devils, they know what's going on. They see the world changing before them. And it's like, damn. He's got to convince himself that there's no God, man.
Yeah, but when the chariots appear, a lot of people are not going to have an explanation of what's going on.
He's done
see
abominable
them.
works.
Yeah.
They will not have an explanation. There's going to be guys that have heard the truth, they didn't believe, but they're going to believe at the end when it's too late.
And he's going to believe too. He's going to be a believer quick fast.
But a lot of people literally will not believe that that's the angels in heaven. But all they know is just the UFOs have come in and they just are killing people.
Come.
Yeah.
Hence has filling them for the fear of what's coming.
Exactly. So yeah, that's what it's going to be, man. At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, everybody out here, they're going to be a believer, man.
Can I say something?
They're going.
That's the one people that have done the most killing. They're the one people that will tell you to the face that there is no God.
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense.
No, they did that much wickedness that they turn around and say, well, no one stopped me. So they can't be a God. This is Psalms 14 verse 1. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God.
Right.
They are corrupt they have done abominable works.
Right.
There is none that doeth good.
Right, there's none that do it good because, like the brother said, to do it what Esau did in the first place, you have to believe that there's no God.
Exactly.
And that's just the whole ordeal.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You have to believe that there's no power.
Exactly.
To do what he did.
He did it with no fear.
Yeah.
Fearless.
And he thought that the Most High was rocking with him too. That's in the scriptures as well. You got that in it, that precept.
About the Quran.
You can read that. Read that.
So Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, and it says,
She's bugging in it.
because sentence against an evil work
Yeah, that's a good
is
one.
not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Con. But you know, though, the Spirit's telling me he said that because he wants to convince himself that there's no God. Because these Edomites, they know what's going on. They see the end right before their eyes. And they see us standing out here talking about the Most High. And he's putting two together, and it's like, man, you know what? Let me tell these thick-knocks that there's no God. To convince himself.
Yeah.
Because that's what wicked people do. They gotta convince themselves that it's not too bad, it's okay. Listen, man, we know you people out here, man. We know the game, we know what you're trying to do. We know your personality traits. We got this, man. We got your numbers. Okay? But you're gonna find out that there is a God, and you're gonna have to suck it up.
Yeah.
Regardless of what, man. Like, you see, these devils, deep down in their mind, I mean, they don't believe in the Most High because they have no connection with him. But they know that there's a higher being. But they just don't want to acknowledge that because that takes away their full sense of power. That's why it says in Thessalonians, it says that he stood up in the temple as he is the Most High and wants to be like the Most High. And that's the spirit of Esau. He knows that there's got to be some kind of higher power, but he don't really want to focus his energy on that because then it takes away from him. You know what I mean? But we can't blame Esau for being the way that he is. The Most High created him to be the devil, and that's how he's going to be to the end. You know, he's going to be a piece of shit to the end. He was a piece of shit in the beginning, and he's going to be a piece of shit to the end.
Because if you know, it's only they that say that. The East Indians don't cross
Yeah, they
around
don't say
saying
that.
there is no God. Chinese, none of the nations do. The Arabs, it's always Esau that says that.
Yeah, that's all white supremacy garbage, man. That's a part of that white supremacy shit, you know? But there's no God. But again, it all goes into convincing themselves. He was just trying to convince himself. That's all that was.
Same as same as their movies. Because Esau gets through life through lies, isn't it?
Exactly.
Lying to you and lying to himself, and it gets him through.
So you see what I'm talking about. That's what he's all about. That's what he's all about. That's why he makes these films.
Yeah.
It's all about convincing himself that I'm the only one and there's no other entity but besides me. Maintaining that white supremacy. Edomite supremacy because they're not white. You're going, brother.
And if I may, in the idea of there not being a God, it means for everything that they've done on the earth, it's like there won't be a judgment for it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Again, but that goes into convincing themselves that there won't be a judgment. Because see, that's what Esau wants to feel. Esau wants to feel in his heart always that there's no judgment. I could just do what I want. I did what I want before. I put y'all in slavery. I destroyed the earth. So what more can come? But let's just be real in reality. There's going to come a judgment for that.
Right.
And that's the thing. Because see, if Esau believes that there is a God, that means he has to be reminded of what he did,
Right.
and know that he's gonna get some kind of recompense for what he did. So that's why it makes sense in the world for them to stay afloat and not believe that there's a power. Because if they believe that there's a power, they will go killing themselves.
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
It makes all the sense when you break it down. It makes sense.
Can I just ask you as well? You see, like, if they...
One more thing, brother. We're going to get back to the scriptures here. Go on.
No, I was just going to say, just on that supremacy thing that you're saying, if they believe that there's no God, then... Sorry, if they believe that there's a God, then that takes away from their...
their supremacy.
It takes away from it, doesn't it? You know, it just makes...
Exactly, because see, white supremacy, you have to understand something, right? Everybody, even our people are under that white supremacy. When they see a so-called white man with a suit and tie, or wherever they see him at talking, everything he says is just the end or be all. Everyone has to shut down because he says something that so-called made sense, but it really didn't make sense when you break it down. And that's just that's a part of this world. You have to believe in that Darwinism bullshit. That sign Darwinism bullshit, and that's all a part of it. Okay, and the main thing that destroys white supremacy is involving in the Most High, involving in that there's a higher power. Okay? But the Lord is going to do away with that, and He's already doing away with that right now. And this is why everybody's watching us on the YouTube, and they looking for fucking answers now. Like I went into this museum in Liverpool, and I was breaking down the history, right? And everybody was freaking listening to me, man. I didn't even realize it. That's what was going on. Because even they're looking for answers. Because the television's not telling them what to do this. It's like they had this timeline history on the thing, right? And I looked at the timeline, I looked at the history, I was like, they've actually left a big gap there. It's a big gap. They were all listening. You know? Anyway, brother, yeah, keep going. You heard it, you got a nigga like myself that's inside the museum breaking down the history, and these jackasses is freaking listening to me, man. And I didn't even notice. I was in the zone, you know what I mean? I was in my little zone, showing my mother, look, this is this and this is that, rare, right? And they're listening. And the reason why they would listen to me, because what I'm saying is the truth, man. Because that's why beginning with the Apostle Great Millstone, I'm gonna say it again. We have the complete truth, man. See, when you got the complete truth, you can go into any goddamn museum and break anything down. Okay, you got, because these levels, the reason why they go in there because they're looking for answers, and they probably went to school and all this other stuff, so they feel like they gotta find something else, some kind of history.
Yeah.
Right, because they're not really fully convinced of what they were taught. And yet they're listening to a guy like myself, an old Negro like himself, that they look down on.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what happens.
Yeah, Apostle, if I can just say so, like, Apostle Tahar said, based on a similar thing, all Christians are stupid.
They are stupid
because they don't Christian. they don't Christian anything. And he went into it. So yeah, it's like it, bro.
This is only my mother. My mother, she alerted me that look, people are listening. I'm looking around and that's what's going on, following us and everything, on the secret. Anyway, let's continue on.
The Lord looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any that did understand and seek God.
Right.
They are all gone aside. They will all together become filthy. There is none that doeth good.
Right, and that's
no,
what they are.
not one.
They're filthy bastards. They're what you call filthy animals. That's what they call themselves anyway. They're filthy freaking animal. And that's what and that's exactly their spirit. You know, so Esau has to convince himself once again that there's no God, there's no power, and it's only me. That's it. Okay. Alright. We'll find we'll see what that's about in the future. Not too long anyway. You know? But yeah, where was we at before? Yeah, you was reading something, innit? You was reading Isaiah 47. 49.
The dregs of the
That's what he was reading, yeah. And I want to get to this other article too once we finish that.
This is Jeremiah 49 and 12, and it says, "For thus saith Yahweh, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken, and art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it."
Right, and thou shalt surely drink of that cup. So when the Edomite comes up and says that there's no God, that means that what he's saying is I don't have to drink of that cup. In other words, there's no judgment coming for me. So that's just, and again, you have to understand these Edomites. You have to understand something, right? These Edomites, they're comfortable. And what really makes them feel comfortable is knowing that there is no God. That's what makes them sleep good at night.
That's deep, boy. That's heavy.
Okay? Seriously. That's what makes them sleep good at night. Because if they have to realize that there's a supreme power, they're shit out of luck. That's why they commit suicide, they go crazy, they bug out. Because of all of the injustice they've done, it's all going to revert back to them.
They know that God is their enemy.
Yeah.
They know that they're the enemies of God. If there is a God, they're the enemies of God. They know that subconsciously.
They know that subconsciously.
And although it hurts their conscience, to know that that God exists.
Yep. And that's powerful you said that too, because all of this time they've been taught that God is white, right?
Yeah.
But yet and still, in their subconscious mind, they still know that God is their enemy. Right. Although because of what they were taught. So even if the Most High is so-called white man, they still fear the Most High to be their enemy. Okay? So that shows you right there that the Most High, he created Esau to be contrary to him. It's so much so that naturally they have an anti-spirit against them. Go on, bro.
A lot of their way of life really is contrary to the scriptures, man.
Yeah.
What they call what's the word? I remember Theresa May made the statement. They said our way of life, everything about it is against the scripture. Homosexuality.
Who says that?
Huh?
Who said that?
Esau. Because remember, like when they make statements about the terrorists coming here to destroy or to kill people, it's simply because they say that they want us to quit our way of life. Okay, because remember, Esau is what Esau accepts, they want to push that on the rest of the world. You know. So when that's why creates terrorists, forcing your philosophy on everybody else. When they go to those Arab nations and trying to force Esau's way of life on them, they don't accept it. That's why now they have all these resistant groups. You know, guys that put bombs around themselves and come and blow themselves and take as many of us out as possible. It's always one message: leave us alone. You know.
Theresa May said that, innit?
Other nations.
Other nations, You know.
And that's why Esau tries to enforce that portion on the other nations, because he wants to magnify his way of life above and beyond. But prophecy said that he would do that. Like when you go to India, you got a lot of fruit, you got a lot of up and coming fruitcakes down there in India. And that's all because of that drink they did. That's all because of that drink. Go on, brother.
Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 5. And also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home.
Right, because he transgresseth by wine. And what is the transgression? The transgression means to sin. In other words, what he does is the Most High set him up to pretty much rearrange all the ordinance thereof, pursuant to Isaiah 24. So he transgresseth by wine, and therefore all of the other nations, they go up. And that's in the book of Revelation 17, if you can get me that too, brother. Revelation 17, it talks about how this woman had the cup of abominations. So it was already set up that Esau was going to magnify his way of life and confuse the masses of the people in that step. Because see, the one thing about the devil seeks to take as much as he pleases along with him, and that's the same spirit of the so-called white man. All right, if he's going down, he's going to make sure that as much people as possible go down with him. Go on, brother.
Revelation 17. Verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
Right, which is the other nations. The waters represent all of the other peoples. Go on.
With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
Right, all of the earth have been made drunk with her wine of her fornication. What is the fornication going to? Instead of reverencing the Most High, they represent a different way of life. Right? And that's exactly what Esau has for the world. It's the contrary way to righteousness. So because he's doing this sort of thing, there's going to be a recompensation for that. And that's going to be the Lord's righteous anger. The indignation is going to come forth. Okay, so yes, to go back and read what you had before. I just wanted to bring that point out to connect with that specific matter.
Habakkuk 2 and 5 again. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, He is a proud man,
Yep.
neither keepeth at home.
Right, he is a proud man and neither keepeth at home, and that's another thing that keeps Esau
Alright, thanks.
in the continuation of his evil and his wickedness.
I'm
because of that
gonna
pride.
change it now because
That's what propels him to keep doing more evil,
I might just change it now.
and is able to say that there's no God because that's that pride.
Mention the name. I'll tell mad.
There's something wrong with it, right?
No, it's got 5 minutes left.
Okay, we're about to close out anyway.
I've got all the SD cards, but just to keep it on one SD card.
Okay,
That's what he's saying.
all right. Well, I'll tell you what. Is it possible we can go for another 30 minutes?
Yeah, I've got another SD card, but he just said
Oh, 5 minutes on that
on
one.
this SD
All
card.
right, that's all right.
I don't mind. Yeah.
Because I said I'm gonna have to go at 9.
Oh, you go. Okay, all right. So you know what, we'll close out on this one then. Close out on this. Yeah, go on, brother. Yeah, you actually gotta go now, though.
It's fine. If you close this room, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, keep going, brother.
Neither keepeth at home, you enlargeth his desire is hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
And that's how Esau is. That's how the so-called white man operates. He is as deaf and cannot be satisfied. So yeah, he has everything in his hands, but yet he's not satisfied with that. This is why this is why you have the RFID chip. Here it is. He has control of us already. He has us subdued already, but yet he wants more control.
Ultimate control.
He wants the ultimate control, but let's say he has the ultimate control, he's going to want more than that. So this man is as deaf and cannot be satisfied. This is why he's went to the deserts and did all this witchcraft and sorcery and wickedness to get his way. And it all resulted to nothing. That's in the Apocrypha. In Ezra's, I think it's Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, where it talks about how the wicked did all of this other work, but it resulted to vanity at the end of it all. All right, and that's what it's all about, man. It's all about seeing the day of our Lord and the ending of this wicked man. That's what it's all about, man. And it all reverts back to that point that I made earlier before. Okay. And ultimately, the Most High is going to have Esau drink those dregs. Drink that wine, drink up the curse. Every little thing that he did in the former age, he's going to pay for that. So right now, let these devils do what they got to do. Let them live their life. Let them flaunt themselves. Let them be disrespectful to us, because at the end of it all, it's all adding up. What they're doing now, like the saying goes, whatever you do today is what's going to fall into fruition for tomorrow, right? So that's what's going to happen. Whatever mankind does today is what's going to fall for tomorrow. So yeah, I can't understand these devils when they say, oh, there's no God. Because like I said, if there is a God, in their eyes, in their mind, in their mind's eye, let me put it that way, then they're fucked. Okay? And it works contrary, and it works the opposite of us too. There's no God if there's no higher power, then we're fucked.
I was thinking exactly that. Yeah.
But we know that that's not true, because you've already won already.
Right.
All we gotta do is do what we're doing and be brotherly, okay, and pray for each other for the better, and ultimately we will receive that victory. That's all it takes. We've already won. We've already got the victory already. The kingdom of heaven's already here. Everything that's written of already came to pass. All we just gotta do is just do what we're doing here. We've already won. But it just takes that we have to believe that, because sometimes